and you will encounter different sources of information. And some information, it will make you angry. It will make you pessimistic about the future. So it means that in you, in your mind, in your heart, there are seeds, negative seeds, unwholesome seeds as well. You have the seeds of anger, of fear, fear of unknown, fear of the anxiety, fear of the future. So we do have wholesome seeds and unwholesome seeds. So this is another mental formation, but it's not very wholesome. It makes you down. So it is up to you. Your life is right here. Your mind is created with seeds and with transformation. There's another part of the mind here, which is manas. But I don't want to touch this part because it's just dramatic, this part. Okay. Later on, if you study about Buddhist psychology, you will have more time. You can study yourself how this little part in the mind impacts your well-being. Even though it looks small, but it's very impactful. It could be very impactful. So I don't want to touch that. Yeah, I just want to mention these two main parts. So every day you choose what sources of information you want to consume, what seeds you want to manifest in your mind consciousness. You know that if you indulge too much without moderation, reading news, scrolling, Netflix, you will know in that moment what kind of mental formation you are having. Please allow me to stop here so that I can move to the next part. There are three approaches that we can cultivate inner strength and peace. Understanding the mind is the first. It's the homework for everybody, okay? Have you had any definition of your mind yet? This could be a support. So the second, our teacher says that as a mindfulness practitioner, if you have ever tested the benefits of mindfulness practice, you would know how to generate joy. Generating joy is very essential to cultivate inner strength. A good practitioner would always know how to generate joy every day. Because in our life, in our everyday's life, sometimes we encounter unpleasant feeling. Sometimes we encounter pleasant feeling. For example, when you meet someone who you haven't met for a long time, your friend, your long-term friend, you haven't met for a long time, the first moment that you meet that person again, wow, it's a joy, it's a deep joy to meet that person. See? So all of us, we can learn how to cultivate joy. But there are also moments you feel neutral, you feel nothing, not so pleasant and not pleasant. But with the practice of mindfulness, you can actually convert that neutral moment into pleasant moment, into joy. And joy, generating joy, is the second skill that I would like to introduce to us. Because all of us, we all have this capacity of being able to generate joy. I tell you a scary story that I just experienced. I think it's just 2 days ago, the first day that I arrived here. So I went to swim with some of my brothers, and in the swimming pool, I met a little boy. I was swimming with a little boy, and he was so friendly to me. He was showing me how to dive, actually, because in the swimming pool, there's a part in the swimming pool where you can really dive, like 4 meters deep. 4 meters, and I have never tried diving before, but out of his enthusiasm, I joined him. I dived deep in with him, but then the moment that I tried to call it swim up, I was struggling. I could not breathe because I was out of breath already. Because I didn't have any experience on diving at all. It was a very scary moment. I was like panic. I have to be honest, that was a panic. But fortunately, somehow I was able to grab my foot was able to touch the wall, and I did a little push, and then I got up. Oh, come on. That moment, I realized how precious life is. Being able to breathe, being able to realize that you are alive. You are not dead yet. Oh gosh. So the most beautiful and impactful joy that we can generate every day for our own practice, which is to be aware that we are still alive. You are not dead. You still have a lot of conditions of happiness, and this skill is less and less lost somewhere. It used to be our human capacity, but now with somehow I don't know how to interpret this, but with the impact of technology, every day our everyday life is too much with technology, with phones, with computers, and with digital life. So we forget the fact that just being able to feel that we're alive and the wonders of life are available around us can be a great source of happiness for ourselves. And we try to inspire you to be in touch again with this simple joy, simple but profound conditions of happiness. Whenever you open your eyes, see, paradise of forms and colors. Whenever you brush your teeth, you don't experience the toothache in this very moment, but you still suffer. You still get lost in your thinking. Why? Are you unwise? Right? If you are wise, it is. We find out that there are plenty conditions of happiness for us to generate joy. And you have to write down. Sometimes if you're not used to this practice, because we tend to get lost in our thinking a lot. Every day, every life, us is like projecting, planning, targeting. We are so goal-oriented, We are so goal-oriented. It's already something strong in our mind already. So we left behind, we kind of like underestimate the present phenomena, the present wonders that are so nourishing, so beautiful. This morning when you were enjoying the sitting meditation, did you hear the bird chirping? See, so these are the things that it should be back in your basket of plum. You come to Plum Village, we offer you a basket of plum where you can bring home. And in that basket, it should be this skill as well, being able to be in touch and generate joy whenever you want. Can you do that? Yeah? Being able to use up of your creativity to bring you joy every day. I don't have much time left. I just want to move to the last part. That's the third category of cultivating inner strength. Can somebody tell me? Not monastics, okay? Not the monastics. Only friends. Can you tell me, in your interpretation, in your own interpretation, what is that third? You can raise your hand if you have any idea in your mind. Just like an exercise. Maintaining
joy.
Maintaining joy. Okay. Yeah. What else?
Easing suffering.
Easing suffering. That's true. I think you are similar as well. The third cultivation. We learn how to handle the pain. We learn how to take care of our strong emotions. We learn how to deal with our anger. We learn how to deal with our loneliness. And this is a skill. These skills, unfortunately, we were not trained in school. Academic education, formal educations, offer us so many aspects for our understanding, for our career, for our future. But somehow they left this part. They missed this part of introducing young people to generate joy and to handle the painful feelings, the suffering, the strong emotions. So this I want to invite you to put in your basket of plum, yeah? Handling the suffering. In our tradition, we don't consider suffering as enemy, and our practice is not to run away from suffering. Even though instinctively, habitually, we tend to avoid suffering. We only want pleasure, right? I want the moment that I can breathe freely. I don't want the moment that I was like sunk in the water. So, but our teacher says we need to have a little bit of suffering. And our teacher also says, if we know how to suffer, we will suffer much less. If we don't know how to suffer, we suffer much more. But you know how to suffer, you will suffer much less. It's something for your own reflection. How you can put that into practice. And it's also very healing when we suffer together. You know, it's another beautiful aspect that you can discover, because this is the last story that I would like to tell us before we end. Yeah, I wanted to tap on many other aspects, but somehow I could not do it. But I just want to tell you the last story that I experienced also previously in a hamlet in France. In one night, after I came back from the tour outside, in that night I was awaked out of the big sound of the thunder. Yeah, and it was strong rain happening, lightning, thunder, and I identified as a roar of the rain, of the nature. And this experience is very impressive to me, actually. I wonder, have you ever witnessed this kind of experience? Because you were lying in your bed, and then you woke up out of the sound of the rain, and you look through the window, you see trees swaying crazily. The lightning was that so strong that you could see the campus, and the sound of the thunder, the roar of the thunder, it was very powerful. And in that very moment, it came up to me one thing. That experience was what is this kind of life? What is this kind of life? I also think of the pain that I witnessed of my parents. Yeah, my dad was hitting my mom. The suffering come up, and also the suffering that is happening in the Middle East, the suffering that is happening in the Europe, a little bit everywhere. people suffer, and then that witness of the strong thunder, lightning. Then I was asking myself, is there any relation between my suffering and the suffering of the world around me? Is there any connection? And I saw that thunder, I saw that lightning as a sound of suchness. You don't have to, it's not only you who suffer. Something that came up to me in that way, and that experience was quite of like hard to understand, but like, are you the only one who suffer? Or are you the only one who bear that kind of internal knots with your death? Or is your current lifestyle, way of life, the best contribution to the world? And what are the messages that you want to convey to people around you? What are you supposed to do with your life? Those questions that just came up, just keep coming up. And I wish that in our life, we sometimes can encounter that moment where there's a phenomenon that shocks you deeply. For me, it was that strong rain. And for you, it would be the moment that you witness the sunlight, the sunrise, or the moment that you witness the sunset. It could bring you the strong impression, and somehow the boundary between you and the sunset is removed. And with the mindfulness and concentration, you can really be in touch with that deep experience. And I really hope that we can cultivate our practice in such a way that whenever we experience the call of nature, whether it is in the form of the sunrise, or it is in the form of the sunsets, or in the form of a big rain or big wind, it can help us to be in touch with ourselves deeply. And we will see like our suffering, our happiness, they are very interconnected. And the voice, the call of nature can help us to be in touch with something very, very deep in our heart. And the joy that you gain from that experience, the tranquility that you gain from that experience would be very, very profound. It is very different from the joy, the excitement, the pleasure that you go to party with your friends in the restaurant at the weekend, for example. That joy is very different. The moment you enjoy different skins on Netflix, and that joy, you would have your own comparison. Those two joys are totally different. And I would like to inspire you to live your life in such a way that you can offer yourself from time to time that experience. And as young people, we can do that. Thank you very much for your listening. You will end with 3 sounds of the bell.